Tell me how have you been? Gee, it's good to see you again.
So good, baby.
Are you planning to stay this time? And if you stay, let me stay.
Welcome to the GridironBoyz Podcast. I am your host, Evan Lopez.
And I am your host, Aaryn Ross.
And today, this is part 2 of the Big Ten predictions and breakdowns. If you haven't checked out part 1, it is posted on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, follow us on TikTok if you can. We went over teams 18 through 10, and this time we'll be doing 9 through 1. See how I didn't make that same mistake as I did last time? We were already improving, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we're just going to be going through our top 9 Big Ten teams, so it's going to be a fun time. Go check out also Big 12, Part 1 and 2, and the ACC. You don't have to check out the pilot episode. That was really rough. If you think these are rough, that one was rough. But let's just get started, Aaryn. Who is your number 9 to kick off Part 2 of the Big Ten predictions and breakdowns?
My number 9 team is Maryland.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Number 9 is Maryland. And you did talk about my 2 offensive players, Jaleel Farouk and Dorian Fleming, the last time. So I'm not really gonna touch up on them too much, except for Farouk was injured last year. 2023 was 700 yards for 2 TDs. Can maybe get something done. Dorian Fleming, 558 yards for 6 TDs as a tight end. It seems like he's going to be the focal point of their offense. But on defense, I have a transfer from Arkansas State, Dante Joyner. This kid had 50 total tackles, 33 solos with 2 interceptions. Pretty good stats. Nothing crazy. I don't know. Maybe see a step up in Maryland. You're going from Arkansas State. I also have Daniel Wingate at linebacker, 50 total tackles, 30 solos, 6.5 tackles for loss. I was honestly kind of struggling to find some people here. I guess I just said, fuck it, Daniel's down there somewhere, and sent it to him. 6'4", 231, so he's got the size. I'm not too high on Maryland. I'm not expecting too much from them. But I do expect at least a decent season. So, yeah, my number 9 team is Maryland.
Man, I think that's a big upgrade from last year. But, man, we are polar opposites. I have them at my 17 team, and you're as your 9. We have one team right now that I think has a bigger jump. I don't remember where you placed them, but that's a pretty good one right there. All right, my number 9 team, I'm going to go Michigan State Spartans. Overall, they were 5-7 last year, 3-6 in conference play, 13th in offense, 10th in defense. So still not the best stats you want, but the Big Ten is loaded with talent. Let's go through their whole schedule, and we're going to start off with Western Michigan at home, and then they got a home game against Boston College, and then another home game against Youngstown State. Then they have to travel to USC and Nebraska, and then they play UCLA at home. And then they got to travel away to Indiana, home against Michigan, away to Minnesota, home against Penn State, away to Iowa, and home Maryland. And I wanted to, highlight this receiving core that they got going on. Nick Marsh, he is a sophomore, 41 receptions, 649 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's been there, Michigan State last year, so you already got a guy that pretty much knows the playbook. So, why not keep that guy there? He's, my opinion, probably be receiver 1 maybe. I don't remember where he was lined up at, but maybe there is a guy to have him run for his money. I got Omari Kelly, a senior. He is a transfer from Middle Tennessee. I already said receiver. 53 receptions, 869 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So between those two guys, it'll probably get the touchdown production up, to really utilize its receiver room. But those are my guys. And I also wanted to highlight a center, Matt Gulbin. I fucked it up. Sorry for the butcher. It's pretty late, y'all. Sorry for that butcher. Jeez. He's a Wake Forest transfer, an all ACC performer last year. He also graded as the number 4 guard in 2023 and the number 2 guard in 2024 by Pro Football Focus. So this guy is going to be a stud for Michigan State. And then on the defensive side, I have Nikai Martinez, safety, senior. He had 30 solo tackles, 51 total tackles, 2.5 tackles for losses, 1 quarterback hurry, and 2 INTs. So, I mean, the numbers don't really jump at you too much, but, I mean, you can't be mad at solid production. And then, by the way, this guy graded out phenomenally by Pro Football Focus, one of the best coverage safeties in Power Conference football. See, that's the dilemma here. Stats don't always tell the full story. So this guy is one of the best coverage safeties in the Power Conference football. And then if you look at his stats, you're like, you know what? He's not bad, but you don't expect this dude to be the best. One of the best. But that's my number 9 team, man. Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? Check that. Boom. What's up now, huh? Who you got as U8, man?
All right, I'm about to get crucified. I'm about to get burned at the stake.
Shit. Ohio State at 8? Are you kidding me?
Only by this fan base, so I don't think anybody else really believes their hype like they do. At number 8, I got Indiana. I mean, everybody's praising them for, making the playoffs when they had an absolute cupcake schedule last year. I mean, absolute cupcake schedule. And then whenever you played the real teams like Ohio State and, Penn State, they did what they were supposed to do to you. They beat your ass. So first off, pipe down. How'd y'all do in the playoffs? Before y'all come at me. But on the brighter side of things, they do have a quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, came out of Cal. 6'5", 225, 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. I mean, he was really a bright spot for him. If I'm not mistaken, his little brother is backing him up in Indiana. I remember we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, we had a full rant at the end of part 1, y'all, so you do want to check that out. Even though we had the info wrong about the Nico situation, we went on a rant, so... Go check that out if you want to.
Yeah, just go back, watch that, and just know we're talking about this guy right here. Well, I guess his brother more than him. Anyway, he was really good. I think he should be good for Cignetti. As I was talking shit, but I like Cignetti, man. I do think he's a good coach. I don't think they are a playoff team this year. They do have Elijah Surratt at receiver. Had 957 yards for 8 TDs. He followed Cignetti from JMU, James Madison. He should continue to play a big role in that offense. I mean, any of the guys that followed Cignetti from James Madison, I mean, they're going to have a big role. Those are his guys, you know what I mean? They have a DB, D'Angelo Pons. Not the biggest in the world, only 5'9", 170. But, I mean, dude's dog. 55 total tackles, 35 solos, 3 interceptions, 1 pick six. I mean, the guy can get around the field, it seems, pretty well. They also have a linebacker, Aiden Fisher, who had 118 total tackles, 49 solos, 1.5 sacks. And I just put down he's a run stuffer. I mean, dude's going to stuff it. That was terrible. He's going to stop it. Edit.
Oh, God. I might leave that in.
Oh, damn. All right. Oh, I hate to see it. But I do think Indiana is not as good as they're going to be last year because they got a little bit tougher of a schedule this year. And I think they'll get exposed. So, yeah, my number 8 team, Indiana.
All right, well, I got my number 8 team, Iowa. Yeah, overall 8-5 last year, 6-3 in conference. They're pretty consistent overall throughout a couple of years. Like I said in the first episode, they love running the ball and punting. So Just wanted to highlight that before I get going. They were 14th in offense, 8th in defense. Now let's get into this regular season, all right? You got a home game against Albany, which should be an easy dub. And then you got an away game to Iowa State, which, man, I know it's a rivalry, but I think Iowa State's going to get after that ass, I think. Aaryn in his Big 12 talking about Rocco Beck, Aaryn. What's your thoughts, man? Rocco Beck, you said number 1. Am I correct in your predictions as the best Big 12 quarterback?
Yes. Especially now that BYU's quarterback gone.
Yeah. Man, they always do that stuff, man, after we do the episode. I kind of want to take that episode back and redo it, but yeah, Iowa State.
One person. One person did it to us.
Yeah, you're right. Iowa State, I think it's going to be a tough game. You got a home game against UMass, away game against Rutgers. You got a home game against Indiana, an away game in Wisconsin, and then we got a little 3-game stretch at home. We got Penn State, Minnesota, and Oregon, so you're bringing some tough teams coming. You also got an away game against USC, home game against Michigan State, away game against Nebraska. Aaron's not too high in Nebraska, but I think that's going to be a tough game. Okay, so I wanted to highlight, we know they like to run the ball. I wanted to highlight the running back room, the situation they got going on. We got Kamari Moulton. He's a redshirt sophomore. And we got Jason Patterson. He is a redshirt junior. Those are the guys going to be battling out for the running back position. And was this what team were you talking about with that quarterback coming from the FBS? Was that Iowa? I might be wrong. I don't remember correctly. I thought you were really high on that guy. I didn't write him down though, sadly.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Was it Minnesota? Let me look real quick. You keep talking. I'll look real quick.
Got you. And I also wanted to highlight Kirk, their head coach. Man, he has been the coach for the Iowa.
It was Iowa.
Hawkeye. It was Iowa, exactly. So Iowa. Before I get to that Kirk thing, if he is able to, like Aaryn said, if they use him correctly, I think they're going to jump up higher on the rankings. Iowa, you get a quarterback like that. Aaryn said he was dotting people up. He was South Dakota State. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you get a guy like that. It's going to really improve your offense. You're not going to be one-dimensional like you have been for the last couple of years. That's going to be a huge improvement. And I'm going to go back to the point I was talking about, highlight Kirk. This guy has been the head coach since 1999. Just wanted to highlight out there. He has been there forever, huh? I wasn't even born yet, bro. Man, when is he going to retire?
I was 2.
Damn, you're old, dude. Damn,
all right.
All right, I got Max Lewin, whatever. Butchered that name. D-end, a redshirt senior. He's 14 solo tackles, 22 total tackles, and this number I love, man. 8 tackles for losses, man. Whew. You're getting close to that double digits. 5.5 sacks. That is what you want. 8 quarterback hurries and 1 forced fumble. And throughout the offense and defense, this team has only had 8 transfers. So, you're keeping your core guys. You got a head coach who's been there forever. That's why they've been consistent all these years. They've they stayed pretty stable. So that's my number 8 team, man.
With my number 7 team, I have Michigan State. You literally pretty much hounded everybody that I had except for their quarterback, Aiden Childs. 6'3", 217. He did not have a great year last year, guys. I'm not going to sit here and act like he had a great year. He threw for 2,500 yards, 13 TDs to 11 interceptions. But the man is a freak athlete. The dude has the potential to be one of the best in the country. He's definitely going to need to step up and have a big year this year. He's a junior. He's probably running out of time, I don't know if this might, if he chooses to stay, he has another bad year. If he even stays at Michigan State, he stayed true this whole time. I want to say he had a pretty good 2023 season. I have to go look. I should have done that and wrote that down, but I didn't. But I'm pretty sure he had a pretty good 2023 season. Everybody just thought he was going to be the next big thing and took a drastic step down. So I'm hoping he can turn it around and have a way bigger year, because if he's on, Michigan State's on, let me tell you. But yeah, my number 7 team is Michigan State.
Man, straight to the point, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Speaking of Aiden, with that receiving core that we mentioned, that would be a tough team to face if he gets on board. You know? I'm with you. See, I thought I was higher on Michigan State than you were, but, I mean, only a 2-spot difference. But, I mean, we're on the same boat, dude.
Yeah.
They got some potential. And we are number 8 or 7 team, sorry. See, if Aaryn's going to get hit with, bricks and everything like that, I think I'm going to join him. I'm going to go Indiana as my 7th. Don't come after me, y'all. I'm sorry.
Hey, proof's in the
I
pudding.
had to, man. Right, exactly. I mean, we are not experts, so we might be just fucking stupid. So who knows? Yeah, you know what? I got an inkling, and they are going to finish 7th. Put that on your bets, if you can even do that.
Over under.
Overall, 11-2 last year. Conference 8-1. Aaryn already talked about Cupcake schedule. And tell me if this schedule is better for them or worse. All right, we're going to start off with a home game. All right, so the first 3 games I'm already seeing this is a Cupcake. Old Dominion, home game against Kennesaw State. Home game against Indiana State. Oh, here we go. Another home game, but this is Illinois. So we got an away game Iowa. Yeah, away game Iowa, away game Oregon, home game Michigan State, home game UCLA, away game Maryland, away game Penn State, home game Wisconsin, and away game Purdue. The schedule's
overall a pretty easy schedule, but
you still got those hard hitters though.
No, I don't see them.
Oregon and all them, yeah.
Yeah, they're not scraping away with just two heavy hitters.
No.
Giving them their 2 losses.
Yeah, exactly. You got like the Iowas in there, Illinois, man.
Yeah, Illinois, I mean, Penn
That's a
State
tough
you
team.
said? Oregon?
Penn State, Oregon. And you got Maryland in there. I know you're high on them, so.
Yeah, Michigan State
little
too.
matchup to watch. Yeah, Michigan State. Not high on UCLA, so they can have that dub.
I think I actually had a UCLA sneaking that one out.
Oh, you had a little upset there, huh?
Let me go look. That was Indiana.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things in this predictions is picking these damn upsets, because a team is bound to lose usually.
Oh, no, I have Purdue sneaking the upset.
Which, hey, you guys can call them dumb or anything, but did y'all predict Notre Dame losing last year? Like I said earlier, you don't know this stuff. Dude, it's college football, man. You never know. But I wanted to highlight, before we get way off track, Elijah Sarrett, a receiver senior. Did you talk about him already? I don't remember. I don't have my thing to check. If not, he had 53 receptions, 957 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's a heck of a year.
Yes.
You did okay.
Yeah,
Well, I've already. And then Omar Cooper Jr., another receiver, redshirt junior. He had 28 receptions, 594 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So he's getting a lot of touchdowns for those yardage. I'm a big fan. In the defense, Amari Farrell, a safety, 22 solo tackles, 49 total, 4 interceptions, and 1 pass deflection. So this guy's a stud, and 1.5 sacks. And then Hosea Wheeler. I got a D tackle. All right. Now these numbers are freaking ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna say he might be one of the best D tackles in the Big Ten. This guy, he transferred from Western Kentucky. You ready for this guy's numbers? D tackle, I mind you. 29 solo tackles, 75 total tackles. As a D tackle, that is ridiculous, dude. God, that dude's everywhere. 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 tackles for losses. See, I don't even know how you get the opportunity to get 75 tackles as a D tackle, but damn. Usually, if you don't know, usually you get about 30. When we've been looking at these stats, you get like 30 to 20 total in that area. Sometimes maybe a 40, but 75 is ridiculous. And I had to end it on there. So Hosea Wheeler. I'm going to be putting my money down, if I could. One of the best defensive tackles in the Big Ten, man. Indiana got a stud on him.
All right, my number 16 is USC. I do believe it's a bit of a step up from where they were last year, but not a big one. I think I told Evan, I don't know if I told Evan this, as we were doing our research or if I did it last episode. I have a hot take. I don't think Lincoln Riley's going to be here in the next 3 years, and I think it'll be sooner than 3. I think he's kind of already on his way out the door. I mean, we were talking about it. He couldn't hardly get shit into USC. So, but they did get a receiver, Lemon Mackay. Did you talk about Lemon?
I did, but you can always talk about him again. He's one of the highest rated overalls in college football, 26 for their team. If anybody wanted to know that, I think 89 overall.
There you go. Fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
I won't go into it. I just put down he needs to step up a little bit. So I'll just leave it at that. He just needs to step up. Then I have a DB, Canary Ramsey. Canary Ramsey.
Man.
I don't know. It's a whole bunch of ridiculous names in this goddamn conference. Man had 60 total tackles, 43 solos, 5.5 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception. That's great. I mean, I got nothing else to say, but that's great. You like a defensive back who can get in the backfield. That's what.
I'm just dancing, dude. Yeah, I'm with you though. For real, my bad, dude. I apologize to the listeners.
I also have a defensive back, DJ Harvey. You're dancing? What does that even mean?
I was trying to do the. I was just doing. Yeah, my bad. You got it though.
I got defensive back DJ Harvey, 58 total tackles, 40 solos, 7 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, and 4 interceptions.
Nice.
There you go. There's your defensive back right there. I just don't believe in Lincoln anymore. I'm just gonna be real here. I don't think he's the guru that everybody thought he was, and so I think they'll move on from him and they'll fall to the number 6 spot.
I got a question for you. Is the next step? Okay, good. Is the next step going to be another head coaching job? Is he going coordinator? What's your thoughts?
What I'd honestly kind of like to see. What I kind of like to see. I kind of like to see, not necessarily like it because it'd mean the downfall of some people, but just say Joey McGuire does not do his job. Lincoln goes to where it began for him and goes to Lubbock, and is the head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I do believe that would probably be his last stop as a head coach before he had to drop my pen. Before he had to, go offensive coordinator like his brother, who is at Clemson, by the way. Garrett Riley, who was also the offensive coordinator for TCU when they made the national championship. We ain't got to talk about the championship game, but he got TCU there.
Yeah, and he was really close. I think they had one more quarter and they would have won it.
Dude, give me 2 more minutes. two more minutes, man.
2 minute, 2 minute drill, they would have got it.
Yeah.
All right, I think my number 6. I don't know if people are gonna like this either, man. Hot takes today for me, I guess, or in this whole Big Ten breakdown. I'm going to go Michigan. It's my number 6. I wanted them higher. I did. But these 5 teams above them, I think, have a way better chance. So I had to put them in the number 6 spot. They finished 8-5 last year, 5-4 in conference play. We already know. Huge upset against Ohio State, and we know how that game ended. See, I had to switch 2 teams. I had to switch 2 teams before I even talked about this podcast because I don't think they're beating Ohio State again. I really had to sit down with myself saying, are they going to do it for the 5th year in a row?
No way.
Wait, I can't see it.
No
dude.
way.
Nah, I don't see it. After what they did too.
Yeah. At Ohio, right?
Yeah, that
Weren't
was
they
ridiculous.
in the shoe?
Yep, in the shoe, and that remember, we were at. I was at your house. We were watching that. Wasn't it Texas A&M? We're getting the chili ready. I swear I
Mm.
was over there watching that. Yeah, Aaryn makes some world famous chili, by the way, if you didn't know. This dude's a stud in the kitchen. All right, let's go over this schedule. We got a home game against New Mexico, an away game, Oklahoma. Hey, don't sleep on them Oklahoma Sooners, man. It's going to be a tough team. And Texas is going to find out when they lose in the Red River rivalry, right? Hot take here. I have y'all beating Ohio State, so I'm not. All right, it's fair. You can drop one game, all right? My bad, y'all. Home game, Central Michigan, and away game, Nebraska. Home game against Wisconsin. Away game, USC. Home, Washington. Away, Michigan State. Home, Purdue. Away, Northwestern. Away, Maryland. And home, Ohio State. Okay, and I have a question, man. After reading these damn schedules, what's with Big Ten just fucking flipping them? Just home, away, home, away, home, away. You know, like, damn, dude. It's kind of getting ridiculous talking about it. I don't know. Just a little pet peeve in my opinion. Bryce Underwood is a guy I want to talk about. Freshman. Aaryn will talk about him later since he has not mentioned Michigan. I'm a little iffy on Bryce Underwood. You know, he's got to go into some tough environments. Like, actually, no, he does not. Okay, Oklahoma, tough environment. I think Nebraska's pretty tough, in my opinion.
I think
But
they're home field advantage. Yeah, it's yeah.
also, I'm excited
That's
to
a
see
tough
those
place
red
to go in and
balloons.
play at.
Exactly. I think I listened to a podcast or something about like Colorado last year with Shadur and Hunter, and they said it was the hardest place they played. Not saying they played in crazy places because they are in the Big 12, but you know, got your little respect to
Hey, that
Nebraska there.
Huff
But
City was tough.
boy, we would have. It was 13-0. I don't even know how we lose that, man.
Yeah, because you're
I don't
tech.
even know how we lose. Yeah, that's fair. But you got the home game against Ohio State. So if you are going to win one, that's going to boost your stock. I mean, honestly, dude. Even if you have another year like you just did and you beat Ohio State again at home, Bryce, you're good, dude. But this dude, I don't know I don't know, man. I'm very bad at evaluating freshmen, so who knows? And I got their running back Haynes. Actually, I think he's going to carry the load off or help the load for Bryce Underwood. He transferred from Alabama, 79 attempts, 448 yards. He averaged five and a half per carry, pretty much 5.7, 7 touchdowns. So this dude's a really good stud, man. I like him. And then I got Ernest Hausman, inside linebacker, senior. He had 54 solo tackles, 89 total tackles, 7.5 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries, 1 interception. I mean, that's really good production from an inside linebacker, man. And I'm excited to see Michigan. And I want them to, set this league on fire again. It's better when Michigan's on top. So I want to see it happen, man. But I got them at my number 6.
Boy, we're going down in a blaze of glory.
God,
My
here
number
it is.
5
Who's
team
that?
is Michigan.
There we go, man.
And you know what? I wanna ask you a question.
Ugh.
What bitch made bullshit is Michigan on? Doing a self-imposed suspension of Sharon Moore. He's getting suspended week 1 against New Mexico. Gets to coach against Oklahoma and is getting suspended. The next game he's suspended is Central Michigan. Nah, that's not how you roll. God damn it, you suspend them those first 2 games. Yeah, let them miss Oklahoma. You don't get to pick and choose. Scared of the NCAA. Good Lord, that some bitch made shit.
What's it called? Wasn't his alma mater Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's his alma mater.
So, yeah. Hey, I totally forgot to mention, before we move on, I skipped a lot of guys on mine, so I'm going to let you cover them. But I'm a little worried about their D-line as well. Their D-line was a huge piece last year, and they're losing all those guys pretty much. 2 of them got drafted high. You got 2 transfers, so I don't know. Maybe who knows about the D-line? I'm sorry to cut you off. I forgot to mention that.
You're good, man. But like Evan said, I am going to go into depth into Bryce Underwood because I do think this man can be something special. Freshman, 6'4", 208. In high school, let me slide my paper over so we can read off this shit. In high school, this man had 1,300 all-purpose yards with 11,500 of them being passing yards, 179 TDs, 152 of those are passing TDs. He was the #1 recruit in the nation. I mean, the man's got it all. Now, can he put it together and do it for Michigan? I don't know. I'm not going to question Bryce Underwood. I'm going to question Sharon Moore. Do I think that man's a head coach? Hell no. The only reason I think he's there is because they need a scapegoat after Jim Harbaugh left. They needed somebody to point the finger to, and if they got to pull the trigger and get rid of somebody, hey, screw it. Get out of here, Sharon. You weren't even our guy in the first place. You know, so that's just me. That's just me. You know what I mean?
I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't
You
wrong.
know, they need somebody for it all to fall onto, and they could just be like, scoot on out of here. I do have a defensive back, Rod Moore, 38 total tackles, 21 solos, 2 interceptions. He's going to have to step up now that, what's his name? Will Johnson is gone. He's going to have to be their guy. They also have a linebacker. Sorry, I had to see how to pronounce his name, but it's Jayshawn Barham. 66 total tackles, 40 solos with 1 sack. And like you're saying, their defense is not quite what it was. They're missing a lot on the up front. They lost a couple guys in the secondary, but one thing you could always count on is it's Michigan, and they are probably going to reload defensively. So my number 5 team is Michigan.
And you know what, though? NFL fans, a lot of people have been hating on this Mason Graham pick from the Cleveland Browns. I think it was a phenomenal pick, dude. That dude is a monster, all right? Let's just not overlook that dude, all right? I had to get that out there. I'm a big Mason Graham fan. So
I think he's going to be nice, man.
I think so, too. And
Especially
with Myles
lined
Garrett,
up,
it's going to be fun.
with Myles Garrett, man.
Yep. It's going to be a fun little duo we got going on. All right, man. My number 5. See, I had a little struggle between my 4 and 5, and my 5 is going to be Illinois. They were 10-3 overall, 6-3 in the conference play, 9th in offense, 14th in defense. First game, we got a home game against Western Illinois, an away game against Duke. And you know what, man? I have been sitting down and thinking, the lights turned off. I'm like Aaron Rodgers, thinking about my past predictions. I think I went too damn low for Duke in my ACC predictions. I want to raise them if I am able to. I'm really high on Duke now, man. I've just been looking back at that secondary they got. Huge fan of Duke, so that's gonna be a tough game in my opinion. And then we got a home game against
to Duke.
Yeah, I think I do too. Honestly, I don't have it written down, but I think I do have them losing. That's a tough team, man. That secondary for Duke is scary, dude. I just want y'all to know, man. That Duke team's gonna be fun to watch. And they got a home game against.
Don't put fun to watch in Duke football. All right, that don't go.
Come
together.
on, dude.
That don't go together, dude.
It's going together this year. It's going together this year. If you're a fan of defense, that's the team.
Last time they were
fun
to watch is when they had Riley Leonard.
Hey, honestly, dude.
And Mike Elko.
What year was? Was it the year with was it Kansas and Duke undefeated for a little bit? It was pretty weird to see.
Oh, you're talking about that year?
That was. Yeah.
I mean, because that was when Duke was ranked.
Yeah, that was fun. You're like, Kansas and Duke? Oh, I want them to go. I was rooting for them. I'm in the fucking Big 12. Or, why not go Kansas?
Yeah, fuck around, dude.
But, yeah. You got a home game, Western Michigan. Already talked about that. Away, Indiana. Home, USC. Away, Purdue. Home, Ohio State. Away, Washington. Home, Rutgers. Home, Maryland. Away, Wisconsin. And home against Northwestern. So, I mean, your bottom half past Ohio State, I think you got some wins there. You got some wins. I think you're going to get them. It's a tough conference, like we say all the time. But I think you're going to lose to those Duke games and Ohio State, of course. Indiana might be a tough one. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch, which I think Illinois personally takes them. But who knows, man? My quarterback, Luke Altmaier, and I know you ran him down. I'm going to let you talk about him. I'm just going to say I'm excited. This is senior year. I want you to go off, man. You know what you're doing. You've been there. It's your time. And then I want to go defense. Matthew Bailey, a safety, redshirt junior, 44 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 INT, 7 pass deflections. He had a total of 94 tackles. There we go. Safety with 94 tackles. I think that's pretty high in my opinion, but I don't hate it. Torrey Cox. Okay, now this is the stats you want to see. This is Aaron's favorite right here. Torrey Cox Jr., cornerback, redshirt senior. Last year he had 20 solos, 26 total tackles. That's the number you want to see. 0 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, and 4 pass deflections. That's a traditional corner right there,
Yeah.
If the stats were to say, that's one right there. And they had 1 transfer receiver on offense, so they kept a lot of those guys. And I think they're going to be bound for another very successful season in the Big Ten.
So, my number 4 team, Evan, we're not far off from each other, is Illinois. I think they had a great year. I think they're only going to build on it, have a better year. I think they can really mess around and sneak into the playoffs. I mean, to be honest, especially if we go to that, whatever the hell they're talking about playoff wise, 4-4-2.
I don't know,
4-4-2,
man. It's just,
whatever it is.
yeah.
But yeah, going into it, Luke Altmaier threw for almost 3,000 yards, 22 TDs, 6 INTs, rushed for another 200 yards, 4 TDs. I had great year last year. I do think he's going to build on it. I mean, he's a senior. He's smarter. He's another year into this offense. I do think Luke Altmaier will have a breakout year. I think, he could be in possible Heisman talks. I mean, the dude is a stud. So we'll see. Oh, dropped my pen again. Got to stop doing that. We will see. But I'm really high on Luke Altmaier. Really like that guy. I also have one of his targets, Hudson Clement, at receiver, 741 yards, 5 TDs. He's a big transfer from West Virginia. I didn't realize that. Whenever I was looking at him, I didn't realize anybody was really going for West Virginia players. But I guess they are pretty good this year. This last year, and supposed to be pretty good this year. So got himself another target to throw to. Really looking forward to that. We got defensive back Xavier Scott, 49 total tackles, 43 of them being solo. So most of those tackles were just him. He had 1 forced fumble, 4 interceptions, and 1 pick six. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, not much if you ask me. I really like this guy. We're going to see if he can have another year like it. Also, same for Gabe Lucas. I'm trying to see him repeat what he did, because you want to talk about some numbers you like, Kevin? Check this out. Linebacker, 74 total tackles, 38 of them his. 3 forced fumbles and 8 sacks. 8 sacks. So that is that's a great number right there. Really like that. So I do expect Illinois to be a force to reckon with this coming up season. And yeah, my number 4 team right there.
Yeah, also thank you, Illinois, for gifting the Denver Broncos Pat Bryant in the draft. Just wanted to highlight that. I think he's going to be a little bit of a dark horse in the NFL. But I say that about every Bronco player, so don't listen to me. All right. Are we ready? Now, this is going to be crazy. Yeah, and I'm doing it. Aaryn might think this is absolutely ridiculous. My number 4 team is going to blow everybody's socks off. I don't think too much, but I think it's going to blow yours. Aaryn, you ready for this? Number 4, Nebraska. Aaron's like, he fucking did it. Yeah, I put him number 4. Aaron's like looking at the eye roll. He like, boy, what you talking about, man? I looked at the Matt Rule thing, and he said like every third year he gets that 10-win, double-digit wins. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to follow that. It's just a stupid stat. And then I'm looking at their schedule, and I'm like, I can see it happen. They were 7-6 last year, 3-6 in conference play, 10th in offense, 7th in defense. Home game against Cincinnati to kick it off. I think you can beat Cincinnati. You got a home game against Akron, and then another home game against Houston Christian. And then another home game against Michigan, and then another home game against Michigan State. All right, and then you got an away game against Maryland, away against Minnesota, home game Northwestern, home game USC, another away game against UCLA, and then another one. Then you're going to Penn State. That's fucked up. And then you get home Iowa. we can chalk the Penn State. We can chalk that as a loss.
That's fucked up.
It is, man. I can see Penn State as a loss, but I can also. Nebraska, I think they're going to get 2 losses this year, 2 to 3. And one of them can be Michigan, but I also can see them beating Michigan. Call me wild, but I can see it happen. And then I can see them beat any other team down there. So, I mean, the schedule, I think, favors them in this year. And we've already talked about Raiola. I'm sick of his antics. Be your own person. And upgrade your stats. Identity. Yeah, just be yourself. Dude.
Goddamn signature brand, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and if we're gonna act like Patrick Mahomes, let's have the stats to back it up. You're nowhere near him, college or NFL, and you're just nowhere near him. Even Mahomes' worst is 10 times better than you, man.
Amen.
So get better. I hope he gets better.
Hey, somebody quote this dude.
Receiver, I got Dane Key. You talked about him. Transfer from Kentucky, 715 yards, 2 touchdowns. Let's get the touchdowns up. And then I got running back Emmett Johnson. I think he will help Raiola. 598 yards off of 117 attempts. 1 touchdown. Let's get the touchdowns up. But I will say he's pretty valuable in the pass game with 286 receiving yards. So I think he's going to help Raiola. To help Raiola, I think you need to get a tight end. Let's get the running game going. Let's help them develop. Let's get these short passes. Let's get them going. And then defense, I got Marquez Watson Trent, inside linebacker, transfer from Georgia Southern. 52 solo, 120 total tackles, 7.5 sacks, 7.5 total tackles for loss. Damn, 1.5 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries, and 4 forced fumbles. I think actually you talked about it. That dude's a little bit of a Tillman right there, huh? A little bit of the peanut. 4, that's ridiculous. Not that much, but you know what I'm saying. And then I also got kind of wanted to highlight Elijah Judy. And for some reason I didn't write down his stats. So I'm just going to throw him out there. Elijah Judy. He's going to do great things no matter what the stats say last year. I'm done.
All right. So my number 3 team, now we're getting into the, these 3 teams are all a toss-up to just win the whole Big Ten. They're your money makers for the Big Ten. I guess Michigan is too, but they're not going to be where they need. But you know who is? Again, my number 3 team, they got a running back, Mekhi Hughes, 1,400 yards for 15 rushing TDs. He had another 100 or call it 200 receiving yards with 2 receiving touchdowns. I mean, I think he's going to be a great spark on offense. He's going to be, a great player. We're not too sure on their quarterback. I believe is Dante Moore, something like that.
It's Dante Moore.
We're not too well. I think me and Evan talked about him yesterday. Don't really know about him. Not saying that he's not going to be good. We just don't know much about him. But a Moore I do know a fair amount is DeCorian Moore, receiver, freshman, 5'11", 182 pounds, straight out of Duncanville, Texas. If you know, you know. Absolute behemoth of a school. Had 4,000 receiving yards, 48 touchdowns. and 4 years in a 6A Texas high school football program. Crazy. Absolute speed demon. I mean, obviously, he's going to Oregon. They always seem to get fast-ass players. I think he's going to be an immediate impact on the offense. I love this dude, Decorian Moore. He actually took a visit to Texas, and I got so excited for that. And then he went to Oregon, so fuck you for that. But other than that, I'm rocking with you, dude.
Why are you so good with the transitions, by the way?
Huh?
So I have to throw that out there. Your transition game in the podcast industry, top notch, man. You got me up on my seat.
Thanks, dude. Dude. Anyway, then they have a defensive back, Dylan Theinman. I don't know. Another crazy ass name. Junior, 104 tackles, 70 solos, 4.5 tackles for losses, 1 sack. Yeah, that's good. Had 6 interceptions in 2023. We're looking to try and get those numbers back. I think this dude could be a total game changer if he could tap into this again. As will he? You know, we don't know if he's consistent or not. Then I also have Bryce Botcher is what I'm going to say. Botcher, whatever. I'm tired of these names, Evan. I am not going to lie to you. I'm tired of these names.
I got 2 more, actually, that I'm not excited to talk about.
I'm sure I got a couple more, too. Who knows? 94 total tackles, 50 solos, 8 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. I mean, what more could you ask for? But yeah, my number 3 team, the Oregon Ducks.
All right, man. I'm not excited to talk about my number 3 team because the names that I just looked at, I got to pronounce, is going to be ridiculous. And I didn't put the pronunciation syllables on there. So we're going to have a fun time. My number 3, I had Ohio State originally, but then I sat down and I did some meditation. It's got to be Oregon, in my opinion. Number 3, Oregon, following Aaryn. They were 13-1 last year, 9-0 in conference play. Even though Ohio State, should have won that game, it was just a little bit of a mismanaged clock management. But you got a home game against Montana State, and then another home game against Oklahoma State. And tell me why I have a little bit of an inkling about Oklahoma State. If there was an upset, that could happen.
It'd be Gundy.
I don't know why. I just have the thing. It's
Gundy. That's why, dude.
Yeah, this game is either going to be a blowout or Oklahoma State's win by 3. So, blowout for Oregon, Oklahoma State. I don't know. I have a little bit of a weird feeling. I did pick Oregon winning in my predictions, but I won't be shocked if Oklahoma State wins for some reason. I just have that gut feeling. And then you got an away game against Northwestern, a home game against Oregon State, an away game against Penn State, which I think you lose this time around. You got a home game against Indiana, away game Rutgers, home game Wisconsin, away Iowa. And then we got 2 home games back-to-back, Minnesota and USC, and then away Washington. So, looking at the schedule, I can only see really the Penn State loss. You might lose to, Indiana or something, but I don't see it happening in Oregon's case. So I think the schedule's pretty nice to you this year, to be honest with you. So I think you're going to be good in that top 3. We talked about Hughes, the running back. I think that dude's going to be the best running back in the Big Ten this year. So that guy is a stud. And then let's go on to, I got a tight end, Kenyon Sadik. 24 receptions, 308 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I just wanted to highlight the tight end to kind of help this young quarterback, Dante Moore, out. Since I really don't know too much about him, I just, get a good tight end is always going to help a young quarterback or someone coming in. So that's my take. And then, okay, here we go. Here's the names. I'm gonna apologize right now. I did not mean to offend anybody. Here we go. We've got Tatum Tiote. I butchered that. He is an outside linebacker junior. 31 solos, 58 total tackles, 7.5 tackles for losses, 5.5 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries, and 1 forced fumble. I'm just excited about getting in the backfield and get these tackles for losses and sacks. And then I got Mateo Ugalele. I think I cooked.
You call him an instrument, bro.
Alright, bro. Alright, I ain't messing with you no more. He's a DN, 24 solo, 38 total tackles, 12.5 tackles for losses, and 10.5 sacks, 6 quarterback hurries, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 INT. That is ridiculous. 12.5 tackles for losses and 10.5 sacks. Man, sign him up. He can play anywhere. I am super excited about that DN. Mateo, I think he is going to be a disruptor and mess up any offensive line he gets to face. So, and I really did want to say, I think they do play Northwestern. I kind of want to see him play Caleb Turnin, that offensive tackle that's been gradually getting better. We'll see how that works. DN versus one of the best DN versus one of the best offensive tackles. Who wants to watch that, Market that. So that's about it for me.
All right, my number 2 team is the defending national champions, Ohio State. The only place really that I'm seeing weakness is quarterback. I'm just saying, it's Julian saying. You know what I mean? It's even if he's the starter. We don't even know if he's going to be a starter. It's pretty sure, it's expected he's going to be the starter. I mean, 6'1", 203, freshman. Is expected to be pretty good. I don't have any stats on him. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't really know much about the guy. I just know he's supposed to be pretty good. You know who I know is good? Arguably the best at his position? Jeremiah Smith. The kid is, I want to emphasize kid because he's only, 18? Sophomore that's 18? Yeah. Arguably the best receiver in the nation is what I put down. Had 1,300 yards for 15 TDs. The man is absolutely unguardable. I mean, you could throw your mother at the man and he's still gonna dodge that. Don't worry about it. This man is unguardable. And then also I put down as a little side note, another receiver. Look out for Cardell Tate. Carnell Tate. The dude, if Jeremiah was not there, it would be the dude. He was one of the guys with Mbuka there. I don't know what to tell you. Just look out for that name because he's gonna be a guy. Defensively, I got linebacker Sonny Styles. He's a senior. Had 100 total tackles, 48 solos, 10 tackles for losses with 6 sacks, 1 forced fumble. That's pretty good. You don't really ask much more of that. I mean, 6 sacks for a linebacker. I think that's pretty solid. He's gonna have to step up because they don't have Jack Sawyer anymore. But you know who they do have?
Caleb Downs?
Yeah, just arguably the best player in the nation. Caleb Downs. 82 tackles, 49 solos, 7 tackles for a loss, half a sack, 2 interceptions, absolute game wrecker. Do you have a game plan? Yeah, cool. Throw it out the window. He's out on the field. You can't scheme around this guy. So yeah, my number 2 team, Ohio State.
Man, I guess I'm gonna follow suit. My number 2 team, defending national champs, Ohio State. Man, we already know, man. 14-2, 7-2 in conference. Killed Oregon in that Rose Bowl. Damn. They had to get their get back and lost to Michigan last year, of course. 4th in offense, first in defense. Man, and they opened up. What a tough game. At home, got to play Texas, and I actually think they will drop this game. You got another home game against Grambling. Home game against Washington. No, sorry. Home game against Ohio. Away game Washington. Home game Minnesota. Away game Illinois. Away Wisconsin. Home Penn State. Away Purdue. Home UCLA. Home Rutgers. And away Michigan. Always got to get that last, huh? So I see 3 potential losses as their floor. And that's going to be Texas, Penn State, Michigan. But I like me and Aaryn says, I don't think they're dropping to Michigan again. So they're either going to lose Penn State and Texas, or just one of those are going undefeated. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? And speaking of offense, arguably one of the best players in that position on the offensive side of the ball, tight end Max Clare. Big fan of him. Redshirt junior, transferred from Purdue, 51 receptions, 685 yards and 4 touchdowns. I love that guy. You know, so sorry for Purdue. They're going to be at the bottom of the rankings, and they're going to be watching Max Clare up top. So that's a stud. And then I also wanted to highlight, this is crazy for people that don't understand that these bigger conferences have crazy depth. I think this is going to show you. C.J. Donaldson, a running back, senior transfer from West Virginia, 163 attempts, 734 yards, 11 touchdowns. Are you happy about those stats? Yeah, you, Aaryn.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about you, man. Yeah, you're happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, that dude's got to be a starter. Not even the projected starter. You still have James People. James People is going to be the projected starter. It's just ridiculous the depth that these major conferences have. And then defensively, Aaryn already honed in on this guy, Caleb Downs, one of the best. And I also wanted to highlight Bo Atkinson, D-end, redshirt junior. He had 24 solo tackles, 35 total, 12 tackles for losses. That's amazing. That's what I want. 7.5 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries. This defense is going to be loaded again, and it wouldn't surprise me if they're number 1. I think they are going to be number 1 in the Big Ten defensively.
Well, love to hear it. So I guess that means we both have the number 1. Same, clearly, obviously. But something tells me you should go first. This is that one I told you I have some.
Yeah, some crazy names.
Not crazy names, but I got a list here.
Okay, well, I mean, my number 1, obviously, if you've been listening, it's going to be Penn State. Overall, they were 13-3 last year, conference 8-1, 3rd in offense, 4th in defense. And my predictions, I think Franklin's going to be getting over the hump. You know, people say he can't win these big games. I think this is a year that he proves it, and they have a chance to, make it to the national championship and win it. They start off a home game against Nevada, home game against FIU, another home game against Villanova, and then a home game against Oregon. That's going to be huge, but I think Penn State can take it. We got an away game against UCLA, home Northwestern, away Iowa, away Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to take that one. Home Indiana, away Michigan State, home Nebraska, and away Rutgers. It's just ridiculous looking at these stats, man. I might take a little bit off of you, Aaryn. Cut your list down a little bit. These are the easy ones. Nicholas Singleton, running back, senior. He had 172 attempts, 1,099 yards, 6.4 average per carry, and 12 touchdowns. That is a dog. Big fan of him. And then I got receiver, Devontae Ross, senior. 76 receptions, 1,043 yards, 13.7 average yards per completion, and 11 touchdowns. So this offense, man, is stacked. You got a pair of 1,000-yard production from your running back and receiver. I think that's going to be huge. And I left your guy. You're a big fan of him. I left him alone. You can talk about him after. We already know who it is, right? You wrote him down, right?
You talking about my boy Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let you have that. Defense,
I'm
I
just
got
saying.
him.
I'm just saying you missed another 1,000-yard producer.
Did I really?
Yeah, so we'll get there. Don't worry. I
Holy
got you.
shit.
No, don't you worry.
Thanks, man. Um, this guy I wanted to put down for my ACC predictions, but he transferred like a couple days before, or like sorry, a couple days before I did the ACC, so it didn't even register that he left. But Amari Campbell, this guy is a stud. He was the best defensive player in North Carolina. He was the highest production overall. He had 45 solo tackles, 76 total, 10.5 tackles for losses, 6.5 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries, and 1 forced fumble. I'm a big fan of Campbell. I think he's going to do great over there in Penn State. You're losing one of the best linebackers Penn State history. We already know who, Darth Vader himself. But I think he's gonna be good to step in. I'm not saying he's gonna be taking over that role, but I think he's gonna be super good. And then I got Tony Rojas, linebacker, another linebacker. 35 solo tackles, 58 total, 6 tackles for losses, 1 sack, 5 quarterback hurries, and 3 INTs. So he can play both. He can cover, and provide some pressure for that defense. And that's going to be my number 1 team for the Big 12, or Big 10, sorry. Here we go, dude. Let the gates open. Here it is.
All right. So obviously, I do have the quarterback, Drew Aller. I mean, you want to talk about Josh Allen body, 6'5", 235, threw for almost 3,500 passing yards, 24 TDs to 8 interceptions. Now, granted, one of those interceptions was a ugly one that ended their season. But homie had nobody to throw to. I mean, nobody to throw to. I believe in that game there was 0 catches from his receivers. He is one of my Heisman favorites. I think it's down to pretty much him, K. Klubnik, maybe Garrett Nussmeier. I don't know, maybe Arch Manning. But we'll get there. I think he's going to be absolutely electric this year. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, vetted team. We know how I feel about this from the ACC breakdown, if you were listening. Love a vetted team. Speaking of a vetted team, that instead of a second player, I just wrote down the whole running back room. By that I mean the starter and the backup. Because you're right, yeah, Nick Singleton, 1,099 yards and 12 touchdowns. But what if I told you Katron Allen, the backup, had 1,108 yards and 8 touchdowns? Absolutely nutty. I think that's an absolutely lethal combo. 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns between the both of them, and they both came back. They both said, yeah, fuck it, we'll run it. That's fine. I expect pure domination in the backfield. I don't think there's going to be a team that can stop that. That is probably the best. That could arguably be the best combo in the history. Like one of the best combos, 1-2 combos in the history of college football, behind like maybe Reggie Bush and what was his name? Lindell White. All right. I mean, I just saw that and I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. 2,000-yard rushers on the same team. That's
most teams can't even get 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah,
they got 2 of them bitches.
They got 2 of them things. Yeah, okay. And then defensive back, I got Zachy Wheatley, Zach. We're gonna go with Zach Wheatley. 96 total tackles, 58 solos, 2.5 tackles for losses, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 3 interceptions. I mean, their defense, let's be real, it's Penn State. They're going to have a top 5 defense. It's just what they do. I'm not going to hound on Amari Campbell. You done, snatched him up off the board, but that's fine. What if I told you, maybe don't worry about this man this year, but just know I'm calling it in the future. Actually, right here, I said get ready for 2026. LeVar Arrington. Because when I was looking for these people, I was like, well, the safe bet is who's number 11? Not even a starter. From everything I read about this man, he is an absolute freak. He is he like so fast off the ball. He will have limited snaps, but I do believe he will produce when in. Absolute insane twitch. This guy they think is they think he has a ceiling that could be higher than Abdul Carter. They are really in love with this LeVar Arrington. If y'all have a chance, go read up on this man. He is supposed to be an absolute stud. So get ready for that man. But yeah, my number one team, Penn State.
Man, spoken like a true analyst, man. Proud of you. Yes, sir. And listen, man, that is going to conclude our Big Ten prediction and breakdown. This is part 2. We will be moving on to the SEC, the biggest conference to date. Aaron's over here, his favorite team's there. We're going to have Austin coming, and we're going to be consistent this time. It's going to be coming out. I will say, though, can you give us a little bit of leeway? College football drops the 7th, and that game looks fucking phenomenal. So just let us enjoy that. Me. 10th for you're right. 10th for you, 7th for me. You know, I did again. I folded and bought Madden. I know you hate on me. I'm giving it one more chance. Let me have one more, man.
You gonna say that again next year too?
No, I'm not watching. If it's shitty, I'm done. Right here. I just gotta play with Bo fucking Nix sometimes, man. Just let me do that. All right, even though I didn't play with him. I didn't play with him though. Madden was not fun last year, but I'm gonna check it out. But college football dropping, give us a little leeway. And also, Aaryn, your thing didn't work last podcast, the part 1. So your little promo you did, it didn't work. I had to cut it out. So are you able to talk about what we'll be doing on July 31st about the Hall of Fame game, man? Give us your best promo. Let's go.
Oh, well, it's going to be shitty. But July 31st, can you pull up the teams again? I know it's the Chargers and somebody. We will be going live right here, in the sanctity of my home and the sanctity of his home. He might come over and hang out with me. We don't know. But we're going to go live for the Hall of Fame game, which nobody gives a shit about. But that's fine. It's football, baby.
There we go.
July 31st, 7 o'clock. Be there. Be square.
Hell yeah. July 31st. Lions, Chargers. Where you going to be at?
Yes.
Where you going to be at? YouTube watching the Gridiron Boys. Pound some beers and watch some football. We're going to be live streaming it for the first time on... we're going to be trying it on YouTube. Maybe if we can find a way for TikTok, we'll do that in the future. I don't know how to do that just yet. But, hey, we just want y'all to comment, have some fun, man. That's all this is about.
Yeah,
thank y'all for listening.
Talk your shit.
Yeah. If we say something stupid, remind us. Let us know.
Yeah.
Signing off, stupid, Evan Lopez,
get
man.
removed.
Damn, like good. What? Oh,
I'm saying for them. If they say something stupid...
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, skedat. Like you say, Texas sucks, skedat.
Fuck no.
Ban, perma. Permaban. Ban hammer.
They're going to lose to Oklahoma. You can stay.
Say boom. Ban hammer.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to sign off. Evan Lopez signing out. Unpatriotic Aaryn Ross will be signing out.
Wow.
Thank y'all for listening.
That's bug.
Doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. I said I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Hey. Okay, well, I should blew the fuck out of my headphones. I know what I mean, man.